With the 30th anniversary of Pokemon having just happened recently, and all of the hype surrounding the ports of Fire Red and Leaf Green over to the Switch, I thought I would talk about a different Gen 3 game that I really hope makes its way to the Switch sometime in the future. Hi everyone, I'm Zach and welcome to another video. I want to take you guys back a couple of decades and revisit a game that is very near and dear to my heart. Pokemon Emerald was the first Pokemon game that I ever owned, and I still have that original copy to this day. So I actually have two copies of the game, which I borrowed the other one, this one here, from a friend in elementary school, and I just never gave it back. So, oops, I guess. So naturally, I know this game very well thanks to the amount of times that I've reset this game and played through it. But what I want to talk about today is a somewhat known glitch that could be very useful to learn if and when this game eventually makes it over to the Switch. It's a cloning glitch that would allow you to clone both your Pokemon and your items. And it's very easy to execute, but I will warn that if you are not paying attention, you could end up doing the opposite of cloning, destroying. I'll do everything in real time just to show you how easy it is to do and how many Pokemon and items you can clone in a short period of time. So I'll be using this physical copy of Pokemon Emerald to show you that it could be done legitimately rather than using an emulator where I might be accused of using a cheat code or something. And to capture the gameplay, I will be using this device right here, which is the Epilogue GB operator, to allow me to use my computer as my console and the screen, of course. And one last thing before we continue, I just want to remind you guys that if you like this video, please consider supporting by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. I'm also currently working on a Pokemon Leaf Green batch quest and I'm streaming a lot of it, so feel free to join in on the streams whenever I do go live, either here on the channel or over on Twitch, which I'll leave a link down below if you want to go visit me on there. All right, let's head over to my PC and I'll show you guys exactly how to do the cloning glitch. All right, so here I'm in the game. What you have to do in order to execute this glitch is you need to travel to a specific location in order for it to work. Now, this location just happens to be the Battle Frontier. So when you're doing this glitch, you got to make sure that you have completed the main story of this game. You have to have completed the Elite Four and have gotten access to the Battle Frontier in order for this to work. Once we're here, what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the Battle Tower, which is, and of course I get a phone call. It's going to be north of here. You're going to go up here and enter the Battle Tower. And we're going to go all the way to the right side to the PC box here. Now, what you want to make sure that you have done before you start doing anything is in your party, you need to have at least 2 Pokemon that are eligible to be entered into the battle here with this lady, because we're going to use her as part of the glitch. You want to have at least 2 Pokemon that are eligible to battle, so no legendaries or mythicals are allowed to be used. Now, what you want to do next is go into the PC and pick a Pokemon that you want to clone. So we're going to do Pokemon first, and then we'll do the items in the second part of this video. So what I've chosen is this Latias that I caught. I'm going to use this as the Pokemon in which we're going to be cloning today. So what I want is, at least in this case, just so that it's a little bit more better organized, so it looks a little bit cleaner, put the Pokemon that you want to clone into an empty box, so that way you can see how much you're cloning in the time period that you're doing this. So I'm going to leave the Latias there in that spot. So what you want is the Pokemon that you want to clone, to keep it in the box for the first step. For the second step, what you're going to want to do is save right in front of the box. And again, I'm doing this all in real time so you can see how quickly and easy this is to do. And once you've saved the game, you're going to withdraw that Latias, or that Pokemon that you're using, just like that. And you're going to exit. Now, don't save. Don't do anything else. Once you've gotten the Pokemon, you're going to head over and talk to this lady. And you're going to choose, once you have done all this stuff, you're going to choose to challenge. I would say choose open level, just so that way it's a little bit easier. And she's going to have you select your Pokemon. So, and this is why we want to have at least 2 eligible Pokemon in our party. So I'm going to choose the Salamence, and I'm going to choose the Zubat. Enter them, confirm. Now here, she's going to ask you if you want to save before you enter the room. So you're going to click yes. And then once you're here, You're not going to do anything. You're not going to hit yes. Now you can click yes. The glitch will still work, but it's best that when you get to this part here, don't press yes, just soft reset. And that's it. Now the glitch is executed. So you're going to enter the game. And what you're going to notice is that I have appeared in front of the lady instead of being in front of the PC box where I actually saved the game. So if you've appeared in front of the lady, then that means that you have executed the glitch perfectly. So when I go back into the box and I do move Pokemon, you're going to see that the Latios, not Latios, the Latios is there. And in my party, it's also there. So what you can do is you can double this up by putting the second Latios in your party or in your box. You're going to exit. And then you're going to save the game again. Because what this allows you to do is you can duplicate multiple Pokemon at a time. So I'm going to enter into the PC box again. I'm going to withdraw both Latios. Exit. And then speak to this lady again. And again, you just go through the whole thing. Choose open level. Again, it could be level 50 if your Pokemon are eligible. I would assume that the game would just automatically level the Pokemon to level 50. Although I do think that if the Pokemon is above level 50, like the Salamence, it won't be acceptable, I guess. But we just do open level, so that way we save the trouble of doing that, of having to make sure that we have a Pokemon that is of a certain level. So here again. Now, you don't have to wait until this prompt comes up. You can do it in that little pause in between the lady asking you if you want to save and when the actual save prompt appears on screen. But again, you can do it between her asking you and the second prompt after this one, actually. But again, I would prefer that you do it at this prompt or before the prompt appears. So again, you're going to reset. And we're going to load right into the game again. And here we are in front of the lady. So we'll check the party. Here are the two Latios. And then inside the PC, we have two more Latios. So we have 4 in total. Now, of course, you can keep doing this until you have a box full of them or several boxes full of them. It's a really easy glitch to execute. So long as you do it properly, you're not going to lose any Pokemon. Now, the mistake that some people might make is that they have a Pokemon in the party, they deposit it in the box. Then they save the game and then they forget to withdraw the Pokemon and do the whole glitch, and then you might end up deleting the Pokemon instead of duplicating it. I think I did that once by accident when I was trying to, do like a whole thing with other Pokemon in the past, and I was freaking out because I lost a Pokemon. Like, oh, I lost this Pokemon. Why did it get deleted? And it's because I didn't do one step properly and I lost a Pokemon. So this is why you want to make sure that you do it properly. You can end up deleting a Pokemon from the save file, especially if it's like a legendary that you're trying to clone, and it's the only one of that Pokemon that you can get in the entire game. So you want to make sure that if you're going to clone legendary Pokemon, that you do it correctly. So again, to go over the steps, step 1, have your target Pokemon, the Pokemon that you want to clone, in your PC box. And then make sure, of course, you have empty spaces in your party, because you need at least 1 empty space in order to do this. Step 2, once your Pokemon are in the box, or the Pokemon that you want to clone is in the box, you're going to exit, save, and then that's it. You're going to then enter the PC box and withdraw the Pokemon, and then talk to that lady, choose open level. It's going to ask you if you want to save. You just do a soft reset, and the glitch is properly executed. Now, there are a couple of ways that you can do this with items. By doing this with the cloning of Pokemon, if you attach an item to it, you can also clone the items and have multiples of those items down. So if you want to put in a rare candy, or if you want to put a Master Ball and clone that Pokemon 100 times and get a rare candy or a Master Ball 100 times, and you can totally do that. But we're not going to do it that way. So let's go on to part 2 with learning how to clone items. It's a very similar process, but it doesn't require you having to clone the Pokemon itself. You just clone the item and you're good to go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this full box of Pokemon that I have. This is from a living dex that I ended up doing a couple of months ago that I finally completed after so long. But I'm going to use this full box of Pokemon to execute this glitch. So I have 30 Pokemon. I'm only going to do this a couple times. But again, this is to show you how easily and quickly this can be done when you have multiple Pokemon in this case. If you have multiple full boxes of Pokemon, this is actually going to be a much better way of doing this, a much more efficient way of doing this, because when it comes to cloning Pokemon, you can only do at most 5, whereas with item cloning, you can do it with however many, you can do it with, or do it, I don't know how to word it. Okay, let me try to rephrase that, because clearly I can't speak in real time. I'm not going off a script here. But what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to the item glitching, the amount of items that you can clone at a given time is dependent on the number of Pokemon that you have in your box, in your PC. So, but I'm going to use just these Pokemon. Again, I'm not going to do the whole 30 Pokemon. I'm just going to do a few of them. So what you'll want to do, just to kind of make it a little bit easier, is you want to go to move items. And you're going to pick the first Pokemon. You're going to give it an item. I'm going to show you how to clone a rare candy. So we'll give this one a rare candy. We're going to exit the box, just like with the Pokemon cloning. You're going to save, just like the Pokemon one. Again, the steps are the exact same. Except you don't have to worry about cloning the Pokemon, you want to worry about cloning the item itself. And then you're going to go back into the PC box, go to move items, and put that item in the bag. So then we again talk to the lady and we do the same thing as before. Oh yeah, you say, okay, I did it by accident. So it says, excuse me, you need 2 different Pokemon of level 50 or less to enter. Yeah, that's on me. And it tells you what Pokemon are not eligible. But, oh yeah, because I only have the Zubat. I deposited the Latios. All right, let's try that again. Again, I'm doing this in real time, so no cutting. And that's why you want to choose open level in case you have Pokemon that are both above and below level 50. So I'm going to show you where before the would you like to save your game prompt comes up, that you can still reset it after you hit yes here. Okay, that was weird. I don't know why it didn't work. But regardless, it worked. Like the reset didn't work the way or at the timing that I wanted it to, but it still worked. Anyway, so let's go back into the bag. Here's the rare candy, right? But when I go into the PC box and I go to move items, there's the Lombre with the rare candy. So what's great is that you can sit here, give the next Pokemon the rare candy, right? And then you're going to exit, save, and then head back into the PC and rinse and repeat. Just have to wait for it to, there we go. Yeah, I guess the game doesn't want you to soft reset while it's trying to think about letting you save the game. So I have to wait for the prompt to come up. If I were playing on an actual Game Boy, then I could just do the soft reset, it should work. Or physically turn off the Game Boy on the power switch and turn it back on. So I'm gonna check the bag. So here we have the 2 rare candy. So the 2 that I just withdrew before I did the reset. And then move items, and you'll see that these the Lombre and the Ludicolo both have a rare candy that it's holding. So now in total I have 4 rare candy. So you can see where, because it's exponential in terms of how quickly you're cloning the items or how efficiently you're cloning the items, you can clone so many at once and get so many items in such a short period of time. Like give yourself half an hour and you'll have hundreds, if not a couple thousand or so of whatever item you were cloning. So this is great for if you don't want to do a lot of level grinding post game, like if you're trying to do a living dex, right? Or if you're trying to train your Pokemon that you want to use for the Battle Frontier and use those items to level up your Pokemon. Now, of course, this works with any item. This works with even TMs. It works with berries. It works with Pokeballs. So if you have a Master Ball, if you save the Master Ball until the very end of the game and until you've gotten to this point, then you can do this glitch with a Master Ball and get however many Master Balls you'd like and use it to catch whatever Pokemon you'd like. Now, of course, this would be for demonstration purposes only, but feel free to use this cloning glitch as you please. So there you have it. That's how you clone Pokemon and how you clone items. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below of this glitch. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I don't know how the code works. I don't know why, like from a coding perspective, why this glitch works. So that's why I didn't really go into that. But if you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I will read the comments and answer your questions. Or if you have any other questions about something else, feel free to ask. If I have the knowledge for that question, then I'll do my best to answer it. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.